Good morning, UniHill kids, and welcome back to Kids Church bright and early on a Sunday morning. It's lovely to see you all here. I'm going to get you guys to put in the comments, say hi Reese, how are you doing? Hi everyone, it is lovely to see you all. Now, before we get started, I was thinking we'll pray this morning. You know, it's a good time to pray at church on a Sunday morning. Alright, let's all get started. Let's bow our heads in prayer. Thou Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation. You know, temptation, it can be a bit of a problem for all of us, actually. I know myself am tempted by any pasta that's lying around. Whenever my mother cooks some very nice pasta, whether it's spaghetti, whether it's lasagna, whether it's some nice penne with some nice sauce, I always think to myself, wow, I'd really love to eat that. But I have to stop myself because no, Reese, dinner's soon. We'll get there eventually. But temptation isn't always as innocent as that. Sometimes it's a bit worse. Sometimes we want to lie to our parents about how many lollies we've eaten. Sometimes we want to exclude our friends when they just want to play with us. And temptation, it makes us want to do these things. And that's what we're going to be learning about in today's lesson. But before that, I think there's something else that you are all tempted by, just like me. It's the temptation to sit around and be lazy. So I'm going to get you all standing up and we're going to do some stamina exercises. Alright, now we're going to do 3 different exercises, 10 times each, and then we're going to repeat them. So, the first one, you may have seen it before. Going to turn it sideways so that you guys can see me better. Going to be kicking our knees up as high as we can. Now, we're going to do 10 sets of that one. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then, the second one we're going to be doing is kicking our legs out. That's right, getting the flexibility under our thighs. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the last one we're going to be doing is butt kicks. These ones are pretty easy. So, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm already a little bit out of breath, but we're going to be doing those for 60 seconds and see how many times you can get through that set of 3 different exercises. Alright, are you guys ready? 3, 2, 1. We're finished, sorry guys, I didn't realise. Well, good job on you guys for still doing all those stamina exercises. Wow, my heart's beating really quickly. Whew. Let's just breathe for a second. Alright, now that we've got all of that Sunday morning energy out of our bones, I think it's time for the lesson. So, today you're going to make sure you need your journal and a pencil or a pen to write with, as always. And make sure for the game later, you've got 2 bowls, a piece of spaghetti that hasn't been cooked, and lots of tubular pasta. So I've used penne. You can use any other pasta that you like. It just needs to be circular and long for it to work in the game that you'll hear about later. Now, a reminder to have a look for any hidden masks that may be in the scenes, and to send any answers you've got to marie@unihill.com.au for a chance to win the prize at the end of the term. Alright everyone, that's about all the time that I've got today. Let's see what Marie's cooking over in the kitchen.
A Mars bar? A Mars bar? I love Mars bars, but I've just decided to go on a health kick, and chocolate is not part of my health kick. I need help. I'm going to pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Am I using this prayer correctly? I don't think I'm using this prayer correctly. When we pray about not falling into temptation, it's not the temptation of eating the wrong thing, it's the temptation to sin. Have you ever been tempted to sin? Have you ever been tempted to do something wrong? We're going to be talking to you about that today, and how to avoid falling into the trap of sin and avoid the bait of temptation. Having said that, I'm going to bait you with something really delicious today, something that I hope you create for me. Today, guys, is a very sad day. Today is the day that I finish my cooking segments for you, because you guys are going back to school, and I reckon you probably won't have the time to cook like you have before. But if you go back through all our recipes and you want to create them still, and you want to take a photo of your creations, keep sending them in. But I've got something exciting. It might be a sad day, but it's a good day. Next week, we're going to start a whole lot of new challenges and a new competitions, as well as some of the old ones. So keep listening and you'll hear about those. But in the meantime, what I want you to do is write this down, guys. I want you to think of a joke. So write down, think of a joke, and send it to me, because next week I'm going to start with that. I'm going to choose a joke a week that I want to read out. So if yours is pretty good, if yours is funny enough for me to read out, I'm going to try it. So guys, send it in. Write it down right now. Write a joke. Send to Marie. marie@unihillchurch.com.au. That is a really simple one. You should know my email address by now. I say it every week. Everybody else says my email address. What is it? marie@unihillchurch.com.au. Send me a joke. Now, get those journals out again and start writing. Our recipe for today is a choc mallow slice. Here I am saying I want to eat healthily, and what am I doing? Well, I am getting rid of everything in my pantry that tempts me to eat the wrong thing. And what I'm going to do is create it today, and then I'm going to give it away, because I don't want to eat it. I might be tempted to taste it later, but I'm not going to eat the whole thing. So here we go. What do we need? Choc marshmallow slice, of course, chocolate, first ingredient. 2 packets of chocolate. Now, if chocolate's on special for half price, which it is very often, you can get it. It does not have to be old gold. It can be, the milk chocolate that you probably like. So get just 2 blocks of chocolate. It's 400 grams. Each of these I think is 200, hopefully. They keep cutting it's 180. Just use 2 blocks, okay? So that's fine enough. 2 of those. And you need to melt it. I've got it on the stove already, and it's in a double saucepan. Remember, a double saucepan is one where you've got hot water in the bottom and it's boiling, and then you have a pan on top and the chocolate's melting. You might need your parents' help with that one. You need 250 grams, because it's called choc marshmallow slice, 250 grams of marshmallows. Doesn't matter what sort, and just 250 grams. I love marshmallows. I love chocolate, got to get rid of it. I love marshmallows, gotta get them out of the pantry, and Dale loves them as well. You need just half a cup of coconut. Now, you don't have to have this ingredient. Like a lot of my things, you can cut some of the things out. So if you don't want coconut, just cut it out, but I like that flavour through it. You need some sort of nuts. You know I love macadamias. I've got heaps of macadamias, see that, in my cupboard. They tempt me all the time. I'm going to get rid of them. So there's a full cup of nuts. Now you can use peanuts, they're very cheap. Any sort of nuts, and you can roast them just to bring out the flavour of them. You put them in the oven for a few minutes just to toast them. And then the other ingredient you're meant to have is, it's 100 grams of glazed cherries. I didn't have glazed cherries in my cupboard, but I had something else that would tempt me. That's red. So you could use dried fruits if you wanted to in place of the cherries. You know, something like dried apricots or dried cranberries. Don't use frozen ones because they'll melt inside your thing and wreck it. Okay, and I've just used these lollies. You know those berry lollies? They're shaped like a berry, and I cut them in half. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see it properly. Here we go. Can you see that? The berries. I cut them in half so that they go further. Now, my chocolate should be melted. It's so simple. This one doesn't need baking. It goes in the fridge for 20 minutes. No baking. All right, just excuse me. I'm going to get my double saucepan. So as you see, double saucepan. One saucepan at the bottom with hot water, the other saucepan at the top that has the chocolate, which is now melted beautifully. Now I'm just going to dry the underneath of that because I don't want it to drip everywhere. There we go. And what you simply do is you get about a third of that and just simply spread it. Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you, you need to have a lined pan, okay? So write that down. Just spread some chocolate at the bottom, okay? Because that's going to create the base for your lovely chopped mallow slice. All right, so spread it out, beautifully done. And then while it's still hot, we want to put the chocolate, well, I won't put the chocolate in yet, I'll put the marshmallows in the bowl. So simple. 1, put the berries in. 2, they don't even want to go in. Put the nuts in. How hard is this? This is so easy. Put the coconut in. Now the idea is to mix those through together before you put the chocolate in, because if you put the chocolate in and you haven't mixed these through, you're going to end up with big clumps of the same thing, and when you eat your slice, somebody's going to get all the marshmallow, somebody's going to get all the coconut, somebody else is going to get all the lollies or the glazed cherries or the dried fruit, whatever it is you put in. Now guys, as with everything, as I mentioned before, it's up to you as to what sort of ingredients you put in. Now for my chocolate. Now it's a little bit hot, so you might need your parents' assistance with this. Mix it through very, very quickly. Just pour your melted chocolate over your lovely, or not so lovely ingredients. They are lovely. I love all these ingredients, and that's why I'm trying to get rid of them. So I'm just going on a little bit of a health kick just for a few weeks, trying to eat healthy, but I am very hungry, and it is very tempting. I just want to eat this already. Now, can you see that? All beautifully mixed through. When you think you've coated everything quite nicely, you simply pour it into, now in your tray, it's an 18 by 24 inch, I think, tray, not inch, centimetres, going back a few years. And you line it with either baking paper or foil, okay? It doesn't really matter what you use. And now, oopsie, I nearly missed the tray altogether. Scrape it all out. Now, you guys can probably lick the bowl. I will not lick the bowl. I'm gonna get chocolate all over me. And you don't have to press it down too hard. The idea of having a little bit of chocolate at the bottom is just to create a base for it. But this is like Rocky Road. Have you ever bought Rocky Road from the shops? I love Rocky Road. Daryl Lee Rocky Road, beautiful. All right, so it can remain all lumpy. It does not have to be pressed down. The idea is to actually have it like that. Now, if you wanted to, you could also sprinkle it with sprinkles on top or something like that. But that's not really a chopped mallow slice as the traditional sense of the word. And it's not really normal. Hey, you know what you could add to? I just had a thought. Turkish delight. That would be a great one to add instead of the berries or instead of the lollies that I put in. Or, do you know those red frogs? You can cut up those red frogs. So you could use red frogs, you could use the berry lollies, you could use glazed cherries, you could use dried fruit, anything to substitute. This now goes in the fridge for 20 minutes and we're going to see what it looks like at the end. This can go to somebody else.
What you gotta know? What you gotta know? What you gotta know? What you gotta know?
Hey there, kids. I'm Big Ray, and I'm here to tell you what you gotta know. Today, we are learning about how to handle temptation. So anytime today you hear somebody ask you what you gotta know, you tell them, I need God's help to avoid temptation. Satan tries to trick you by telling you all sorts of stuff about sin. He tells you stuff like, it'll be fun, it won't hurt you, God won't mind. But that guy lies more than Pinocchio. He, in fact, is the father of lies. Don't you listen to a word he says. Instead, you gotta trust God and follow him. Run from temptation. You'll be a lot better off. So anytime today you hear somebody ask you what you gotta know, you tell them, I need God's help to avoid temptation. And that right there is what you gotta know. This is Big Ray, and I'll catch you on the flip side.
What you gotta know?
Hey kids, what time is it?
Game time!
Alrighty folks, you know what time it is. It's time for the game. Now, you guys need to have in front of you 2 bowls that are relatively close together. Maybe go 2 finger widths apart from each other. You need a piece of long raw spaghetti and you need a handful of penne or macaroni or just some thin circular pasta. Now, the aim of this game is in 30 seconds, using just this piece of spaghetti, how many pieces of the pasta can you move from one bowl to another? Ooh, 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 ooh. Gotta be very careful with this one. You drop it in there. That's one for me. Now, I'm gonna be trying to get a second one. Yep. There we go. Oh, got it. That's 2 for me. Now, you guys have 60 seconds to get as many as you can in. And post your high scores to Marie, and we'll see who anyone can get a prize. Alright, catch you in a bit. Oh, dang it. Oh, I nearly got that last one in. How did you guys do? I was only able to get 7 in. I nearly had 8. Oh well. Well, it's time for you guys to send in your results to Marie at unihillchurch.com.au and you might win a prize. Alright, that's all from me today, guys. Have a nice week.
Okay, it's been 20 minutes and have a look. Beautifully set. So it's been in the fridge and I'm going to show you how easily it comes out of the pan. What it does, well, it sort of comes out easily. You can lift it out very simply. You can do it, as I said, with foil underneath or do it with the paper. And the paper will simply, peel away. Dale, I can hear him laughing in the background. I don't know what he's laughing at, but he's laughing in the background. Obviously something is amusing him. All right, so now it is beautifully out of the pan. It's nice and solid, and I can cut it up into the size slices that you would like. I would love to be tempted by, well, I'm being tempted by a slice. Look at that. It looks beautiful. It's got the marshmallow. It's got the, no. Sorry.
I thought you cut me a slice. Hey Marie, did you know why some cows have bells around their neck?
No, Dale, I don't know why some cows have a bell around their neck.
It's because their horn doesn't work.
That is a dad joke. Now guys, that's the sort of joke, well, I don't know if that's the sort of joke, but it reminds me that we want jokes from you. Please send us a joke so that we can read it out, and if it makes me laugh, all the merrier. And of course, as usual, there are prizes to win. Now, if you make our choc mallow slice, please send us a picture so I can include it, because I would love to see you and your results that you've got, and tell me what you actually put in it. Like I put in those lollies. Did you put in Turkish Delight? Did you put in cherries? Did you put in dried fruit? Did you add the coconut? Oh man, this is tempting me. Is it tempting you, Dale?
Yes, I thought you cut me a slice.
Come here, we need to pray. Let's pray for God's help together. Close your eyes. Our Father, do you know it? Go. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one.
What?
Oh, look, you've got that head.
Are you talking about me or are you talking about that?
This is the evil one. But I'm sure you will enjoy it. All right, guys, we will catch you in a few minutes. I'm going to tell you how you can resist temptation.
It's me, Peyton, and it's time to get back into our series called Teach Us to Pray. Oh look, an apple. I wonder who left it here. I better pick it up.
Haha, I caught you in my trap.
Why did you do that?
You took the bait and now you're in my trap.
Ha ha, now let me out of here. I have a video to shoot.
Say please.
Let me out of here now!
Uh-oh.
I can't believe my brother did that to me. But it kind of reminds me of the part of the Lord's Prayer that we are learning about today.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Remember how my brother got me into that trap? He said that apple was bait. Well, temptation is the bait for the trap of sin. The devil lays temptation all around us to make us fall into the trap of sin.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, that devil, he is a bad, bad dude. He's downright naughty.
He sure is. The devil is the enemy of our souls. He wants us to sin more than anything else. That's why we should pray every single day for God to help us not to fall into the trap of sin. There are a lot of things Satan tries to tempt us with. Have you ever been to the store and you didn't have enough money to buy a piece of candy? Sometimes Satan puts temptation in front of us to try and make us steal things that don't belong to us. Or, have you ever been over at a friend's house for a slumber party? Their parents are in bed, and somebody starts to play a movie that you know you're not supposed to see. You're tempted to watch it, but it's totally not good for you. Or, you're in class trying to take a test, and you're sitting by the smartest girl in class. It wouldn't take anything just to lean over and look at her answers. Well, that's the devil trying to set out a trap of temptation for us to cheat on that test. That is temptation. We must pray that God would help us stay away from Satan's traps. If we ask, He'll deliver us from temptation and from evil. Well, it's time for you to get into your lesson today as you learn about the Lord's Prayer and avoiding temptation. This is Peyton reminding you, you can pray every single day. See ya!
I want you to follow up today by reading this story. It is found in Genesis chapter 1, 2 and 3. Make sure you write that down. And if you know your Bible, you know Genesis is the very first book in the Bible, and you know this is the story of creation. But I'm not going to speak to you about what God created and when He created it. I want to speak to you about the time just after He created everything, and He created man and woman, Adam and Eve. Well, He got Adam and Eve and He put them in the Garden of Eden, and He gave them one simple rule, and that was don't eat from a particular tree in the garden, because He warned them if they did, they would die. One rule. That seems simple enough, doesn't it? Well, the garden had been established. Adam and Eve had been put in there. They had free reign of this whole garden. They were romping around in the garden barefoot, carefree, as I said, until one day Satan approached them. He took on the form of a snake and he came up to them. And he asked Eve, "Did God say you can't eat any fruit in the garden?" And Eve answered, "No, we can eat any fruit we want, except fruit from that tree. God told us that if we ate fruit from that tree, we will die." Well, Satan responded, "No, you won't die. God just doesn't want you to be as smart as He is." He knew how to bait Eve. He knew how to tempt her to disobey God's instructions. He lied to try and get her to sin. And then Eve made a terrible mistake. Eve listened to Satan's lies. She considered what he had said, and even though she'd been told not to eat from the tree, she ate from that tree. And to make things worse, she turned and she gave some of the fruit to Adam. Adam was not sure about what the snake had said to her, but guess what? Adam made the same terrible choice. He gave into the temptation and he ate the fruit. And with that, Adam and Eve committed the very first sin. Eve gave in to the temptation that Satan put before her. Adam gave in to the temptation that Eve put before her. You know what? Adam and Eve aren't the only human beings that Satan has lied to. In fact, he is still busy lying today to you and to me, trying his best to deceive all human beings to disobey God and to fall into the trap of sin. And we're going to learn today about how to handle the temptation that comes our way. And we're going to learn about how not to fall into Satan's trap of temptation.
Once again, it is I, Presto Changer, the Magnificent, here to teach you today's power verse. Nothing up here, nothing up here, nothing up here. Today's power verse says, "And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil." Matthew 6:13. 13a. Ha ha! What an amazing Powerverse, boys and girls! But just like I do in my sold out shows all over the world, really in my living room with my grandma, I'm going to make things poof disappear right before your very eyes. I will make words for the Powerverse disappear with the help of my handy dandy sidekick. Hocus Pocus! I'm so glad you are here! You will be helping us with this mind-blowing disappearing trick. Hokey, say hello!
Whatever. Can we just get on with the Powerverse?
Yes! Let's take a look at it. Ah, yes! Now, which words should I make disappear? How about this one? This one! And this one! Ha ha! Now let's see how well you remember it. Kids, you are going to say the Powerverse again with Hokey.
It's Hocus Pocus!
You're going to say the Powerverse on the count of 3. 1, 2, or 3.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Matthew 6:13a.
Ha ha! That was pretty amazing. You were able to say the Powerverse with the disappearing words. But prepare to be amazed! I'm going to make even more words disappear before your very eyes. Like this one. And this one. Okay. You said it once with the disappearing words, but let's try it again.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Matthew 6:13a.
Beautiful job. Thank you, children, and Hocus Pocus.
It's Hocus Pocus. Oh, never mind. You got it right.
And now to make myself disappear, I am Presto Changeo, saying, now you see me, now you don't. Beep-a-da-ba-da-dee-do-dee-do.
I've got a question for you. Have you ever been trapped anywhere? You know, you've crawled into some space and you just can't get out, or you got trapped underneath something and it's been difficult. You can panic a bit, can't you? Could you imagine what it would be like if you were a miner who was underground and there was an avalanche of some sort and you got stuck down there? It would not be nice at all. Well, when you're trapped, you feel helpless. You can't get out and you feel like everything's lost. And that's what it feels like when you fall into sin, because sin is a trap. Do you know how you get trapped? Do you know how he traps you in sin? Well, it's as simple as tempting you with something. Satan knows where your weak points are. It's like having a mouse and a mouse trap. You get a mouse trap and you put a piece of cheese in it, and that lures it attracts the mouse to the trap. And the mouse doesn't realize it's bait and it gets caught. I can give an example of a fishing line too. You go fishing, you stick a worm or a grub on the end of the hook and you throw it in the water, and the fish get attracted to it. They don't realise, they go towards the bait and they think it's going to be something great, and they take a bite and they find out that it is not so great and they get trapped. Well, guys, this is what the devil does with us. He knows that we are tempted by things and he baits us and he brings us in. It might not seem so bad in the first place, and he tempts us to come and do it. That's what he did with Eve. He tempted her with that fruit and told her that she would become like God, and she fell for the bait. Eve made the mistake of staying and listening to Satan as he lied to her. He baited her. If she hadn't have remained there, if she turned and moved away, she would not have fallen for that temptation. And that's why we're learning the Lord's Prayer, because we need to learn to run from sin and turn away from the trap of it. We must pray every day that God will lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. God will lead you through your day, avoiding the temptations that the devil is laying out for you and the trap of sin altogether. That's our God. He's powerful, much more powerful than Satan or his temptations. So we have heard, temptation is the bait. That's what draws us in. That's what attracts us to come and sin. Sin then traps us. But God can lead us away from temptation. If we remember to pray this prayer daily, we are asking God to help us with the temptations that come our way. But we have a part to play. Guys, Satan knows each of you, and he knows what to tempt you with. He knows what friends to give you to try and tempt you to do wrong. He knows what you like, and he will tempt you with these things to make you fail and to make you fall away from God and to make you sin. Do not allow this to happen. I want you to remember to pray this prayer daily, and then when you see the temptation, when you see the bait, to turn away from it. Let's pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Hi everyone, I'm going to tell you a story about this Mars bar. It's Chris here. This Mars bar reminds me of a time when I was in high school. I used to buy these from the canteen at high school quite often, probably too often. And once they had a 1 in 6 win challenge. So on the wrapper there was a little part that said 1 in 6 wins. One day I bought a Mars bar, I opened up the wrapper, and would you believe I won one? So I was able to take the wrapper and go and get another one. And I won a second time. And would you believe the second one that I won, I opened it up and another win. 3 Mars bars that I ended up having that day. So I love these. These always make me remember and think of, you know what, might have some good luck today. Great things might happen today. So that's my story about the Mars bar. Now, also want to talk to you about our offering. You know, this past term we've been giving to Vince Borromeo, and the letter N in the word mission stands for now is the time. You see, it's a bit hard for us to start something new overseas at the moment because of the travel restrictions, but we can keep supporting Vince because he's there doing the work. So now is the time to keep supporting him, to keep giving. He is doing great work with the youth in Italy, okay? And now is the time that you can make a difference. So you can do that right now. So by either continuing to save up until we meet together to give, or you could even ask your parents to give, and they can give to the church, and that money can go towards Vince if they let us know. So you don't have to wait to be grown up to make a difference. You can be doing it right now. Now is the time. I also want to talk to you about some news that we have. So I'm sure, like most of us, looking forward to being back at school. I'm a teacher, so I'm certainly looking forward to going back and seeing everyone there. But the news that I have for you is that our UHK sessions will be a little bit easier for you to get involved. As you're going to be getting busier back at school, we're going to make things easy for you. So make sure you keep tuning in every Sunday. Make sure that you keep having your journal with you, your markers. You'll need those next week. And we'll have some more information about how you can get involved, about our challenge that's coming up, our new challenge. So tune in next week, keep tuning in every week, and you can find out about how you can get involved. And speaking of the challenge that I mentioned, I'm wondering whether or not we've got any more editions, any more videos of the COVID Shake. So watch out to see if we've got any more. And the COVID Shake song is really important. It's got some really great tips in it about how you can stay safe during the COVID-19 time, and even when you're back at school and things like that. Alright, that's all from me. Thanks everyone.
Stay at home, it's the safest place. Hand wash often, don't leave a trace. Avoid your mouth, don't touch your face. Keep your distance, 6 feet space. An elbow cough, save the human race when you do the quarantine shake. Save the human race when you do the quarantine shake. Save the human race when you do the quarantine shake. Save the human race when you do the quarantine shake. Shake, 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 shake. The quarantine shake. Shake, 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 shake. The quarantine shake.
Wow! Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Chris. I really appreciated Chris's story about the Mars bars. And you know what? I've got a story about a Mars bar too. You see, Mars bars love me, and we're going to kiss later. Anyway, it's time for the mask challenge. And I have in this hat several contestants from which I will choose the winner. Is it going to be you? We shall see. Here we go. Stir them up. And I have one. The winner is Audrey. Well, Audrey, take a bow. You are the winner of this week's mask challenge, and you have a prize in the mail.